This is a presentation on utilizing WordPress for the secondary classroom. The shortened URL here links to these slides with clickable resources. The objective of this presentation is to demonstrate briefly how to utilize WordPress and to show a few ways to use the tool for your classroom. Please reach out to me via email with questions, comments, or collaboration. So what is WordPress? It's a very user-friendly website creator. The basic highlights of WordPress are that it is easy to create and start utilizing with templates. Embedded tutorials and help pages support you along your way, and resources such as the media library help you to create a professional site with great ease. It is set up to have high functionality with a low effective filter in terms of web development. There are two types of interfaces, pages and posts. Pages are larger categories that house posts, like blog posts. WordPress operates in what is labeled as blocks. Blocks are sections of content you can add to the website. Options include text, images, links, design features, embedding, custom content, and so much more. You also have high control and visibility of site traffic and can manage your site data easily from the administrator dashboard. I'm going to walk you through a quick tutorial on navigating WordPress. I followed the steps linked on the shared slides to create a website and set a domain. You can start with a free domain or a paid domain. I've also chosen a theme and a template. After initial creation, a setup guide appears that helps walk you through the basic necessary steps to start a functional website. The startup guide will remain on the right side of the administrator dashboard. You can see right here. So this is the administrator dashboard where you can control every aspect of your website. The admin bar is on the left over here, this black bar. This is where you can find navigation to all functions of manipulating your website. There are also quick links on the dashboard to help you utilize your site efficiently. A few basic navigation pieces you should know as we get started. Once you're on your administrator dashboard, you'll start with pages, customizing and manipulating. Web pages are categorized content. For example, I have content, collaboration, connection, or connect, about, and my homepage I titled Literacy is Empowering. Once you have your pages, you'll add posts. You can also find this on your admin bar. Posts will display under the page you've indicated. Posts are organized and searchable by adding categories and tags as you write them. You can see on the admin bar categories and tags as well for added organization. For my website, I have connected posts to the collaboration page because I will use my posts as topics of discussion or prompting to which students will respond to the original post and each other to increase the depth of analysis. As you work on your site, you can change the appearance at any time by clicking Appearance. This includes an entire theme or template, widgets, user navigation options, or menus. Lastly, I'd like to show you plugins. If you scroll down on your administrator bar, plugins are systems of code acting as additions to your site, increasing and specifying functionality. A plugin adds something new and custom to fit your specific needs. Plugins are very easy to search, use, and install to customize your site. This is the key to what makes WordPress different from a Google site or maybe how you manage your classroom right now via Google Classroom, Schoology, or Canvas. That was a quick look at the interface of WordPress. But why and how use it in your classroom? The easy answer is you are able to organize and share learning in a simple, accessible form. This happens in three ways: connection, content, and collaboration. This is what that means to me. Connection is that we can use WordPress to easily organize contact information so it's located by parents and students at all times. Also, class content and activity accessible for your parents and guardians, and this leads to transparency of what's happening in their child's classroom. And you're able to connect with a broader, authentic audience outside of your school site. This opens up and adds a layer of importance and authenticity to your students' work. WordPress also helps you organize content, links to videos, folders, docs. It's easily organized and findable when you have it on a page in your WordPress. And you can record and blog past lessons, sessions for review, and all sorts of content that we'll look at a little bit later. And lastly, for collaboration, there's a plugin for discussion board. You can also utilize comments on the blog posts. And like I mentioned a little earlier, this broadens your audience and is an authentic way to connect your students to the outside world and gives them importance to their writing and what they've analyzed in your classroom. So why is it so special? And the answer is plugins. I mentioned discussion board plugin a little bit earlier. Plugins, the definition, adding software features to an existing platform. And we use them to customize your website to be any specific thing you need it to be. The best part of plugins, they are all integrated in WordPress interface when on that admin dashboard we looked at, and can be as easily added and manipulated as WordPress itself. Let's start with thinking about WordPress for connection. Be available and organized for students and parents to engage with your class. Here's how you can connect. You can add class documents and links such as syllabi. You can integrate an LMS plugin, which is incredible. You can add virtual conference plugin. You can link your gradebook or your school website. You can add a calendar and course resources to be easily findable on one page. Another idea for connection is you can publish student work with permission. Create a space where anyone can go and see what your class is about and what your students are creating. My example, WordPress, that's linked at the very end, already has a connection page that I'm drafting. I have my content information, and I've linked my calendar, my socials, and the school website. I'll be working on this coming year, adding blog posts with my student work as I continue to develop my WordPress. This is what my connection page looks like. It's very clean, very simple, and a very easy way for students to organize and contact me, as well as direct their parents to how to understand their class and how to contact their teacher. It's visibility and accessibility, a connection from classroom to home. The second idea for using WordPress is for content, or to provide resources and content for students to explore and easily access. Yes, we might have a learning management system such as Canvas or Google Classroom or Schoology, but WordPress does it a little bit differently. It's one place, one page, for example, that houses many posts that have different types of resources, and also an organized way for you to present your content on many different platforms. So I could have content of docs, supplemental resources I create for students to extend their lessons or their learning, as well as level the lessons. So to add extension activities for students who are beyond the skill level or advancing. I can also create assignments and utilize the Kami extension for students to work on assignments through WordPress or with an LMS plugin. I can assign and collect work. I can also have folders. So, for example, I could have a text set for students to access. So instead of having many different posts with text linked, such as it is on Google Classroom, I can have it all in one page and one post for students to access all of those texts succinctly, as well as unit resources in that same way. Also, on one post or one page, however you decide to organize, you can have a myriad of multimedia to create an interactive and engaging way for students to learn video, images, links, interactive text blocks. This is also a place for you to organize asynchronous lessons. You can record your live lessons and post them for students to review as blog posts. You can add and link Edpuzzle, Nearpod, and Pear Deck assignments that are asynchronous. And for example, I also have my teacher YouTube where I can create videos for students to study on their own. This would be great for a flipped classroom setup. You could also have supplemental reading. I would link, for example, my Common Lit, Actively Learn, and News ELA pages for students to continue their reading and also have a place to conduct research. And also, you can have easily organized self-guided assessment and study tools. So I could link my quizzes, Kahoot, and Quizlet, or maybe AP Study, reviews, and tools. It's one place for students to go to easily access all of their information. And lastly, collaboration, discussion boards, and authentic audience. So why collaboration? Sharing knowledge and learning expands all students' depth of understanding, adding the element of authentic audience that WordPress offers to increase the value of product. So it's a three-step application for collaboration on WordPress. I would start with an initial question, content, or text as a post under a page, collect student analysis through responses on comments, and then facilitate further peer authentic audience responses. This can be within and outside of your classroom, which is one of the unique ideas of WordPress, that you can stimulate a conversation with your students that also reaches a broader audience and can open up learning to experiences that aren't within your site to expand learning and really add depth. Here's how I would facilitate collaboration utilizing WordPress. With plugins, there's a discussion board plugin. There's many of them. I link one at the end. Like I said earlier, utilizing the comments section on the posts. I would also provide sentence starters that can help facilitate expansion and extension of ideas. Or, for example, linking a shared drive or Dropbox where anyone in that authentic audience or in your classroom can contribute to a shared source of resources and writing. So, should you use WordPress? Here are the questions to ask yourself. First, do you have time to consistently update and utilize a website? Taking this on would mean that you're adopting a whole new way of organizing and interacting with your students. Do you want to, or are you willing to put in a lot of time and effort? The second question is, will taking on a new platform relieve or add stress? Third, how do you want to connect with your students and families? Fourth, is there a specific audience that your students could benefit from connecting with that isn't present within your classroom? Fifth, would your assignments benefit other teachers or classes if public? And what resources do you want students to have consistent access to and know how to get to? Here's a quick analysis of utilizing WordPress. First, strengths. Like I mentioned during setup, templates and easy startup. It's focused on content and user experience. Some weaknesses are some functionality might be difficult to work with if you're using a certain LMS such as Classroom or Canvas right now. You'd have to learn a new system. An opportunity for growth in terms of your student learning is increasing connection and authentic student communication. Something that we should be aware of is that anyone on the web will be able to access this content. So you have to guard your students, their work, and your information in order to keep their safety, and also open up the world to them. It'll take a little bit of work on your end and thoughtfulness. Here's my WordPress page. It's a work in progress if you'd like to sort of see how I've started manipulating WordPress for my classroom. And this is a set of links to help you get started if you'd like to start looking into using WordPress for your classroom. Thank you so much. Have a great day.